When it comes to sugar, there are some inconsistencies and deceptive aspects that are often overlooked. It's not that all sugar is bad. The focus is on source, type, amount, and frequency of intake. Many food products today are designed for convenience and instant gratification. This also includes the double-down effect of gratification of our senses through dopamine stimulation and how it is portrayed by the eye, such as a photograph that stimulates a desire. Factors such as mindset, behavior, and our relationship with food are frequently overlooked. Ultimately, how we eat can be influenced by subconscious tendencies, whether adopted during childhood or later, highlighting the connection between our eating habits and our overall approach to nutrition. To an extent, subconscious behaviors can often take precedence over conscious choices. Additionally, foods high in sugar can trigger the release of dopamine in the brain, creating feelings of pleasure and reinforcing the desire to eat them again, thereby contributing to a continuous cycle. This can lead to repeated consumption, often diminishing our ability for conscious discernment, even if only temporarily. But the industrialized lifestyle does not seem to be as conducive to holistic well-being. In many respects, sugar is used as a blanket term that is applied to different types of sugars, but not all sugars are the same, and not all sugars are body-friendly. The nature of sugar is that it appeals and stimulates taste, as seen in the example of a refined sugar-rich drink. In this segment, we focus on free sugar as opposed to natural sugar and its potential role in disrupting the gut, influencing pain, and contributing to inflammation. Firstly, to define the term free sugars, Gillespie and others, 2023, free sugars, which also includes all sugars that are naturally present in honey, fruit juices, and syrups. This is generally not considered to include sugars found within the cellular structure of foods, such as dairy foods or the carbohydrates found in nuts, fruit, cereal grains, or vegetables. However, natural, pure honey, despite being a free sugar, is very different from industrialized free sugars because it contains vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that offer health advantages in moderation. It has a long history of use in traditional disciplines. Honey is categorized as an ancient food. Free sugars are typically added to foods and beverages by manufacturers, cooks, or consumers. On the other hand, natural sugar refers to sugars that occur naturally in whole foods, such as fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. Unlike added sugars, these sugars are accompanied by vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Most natural sugars are a mix of glucose, fructose, and sucrose in different amounts. Out of all of these, glucose is perhaps the most important as it's a primary energy source for the body and readily absorbed. Holistic sciences often utilize natural sugar, such as jaggery, as an adjuvant in certain polyherbal formulations. Citing that natural sugar, when part of a balanced approach, is a natural part of healthy nourishment. But there is a fine line. Highly processed and refined sugars are not in line with the holistic needs of the body. However, the body requires glucose for its physiological functions. The largest consumer of glucose is our brain. Mergenthaler and others, 2013, state that the brain consumes 20% of glucose-derived energy, making it the leading consumer of glucose. Let's not forget we also obtain some elements of naturally occurring sugar from our daily foods, such as a bowl of whole food rice. Comparatively, the world of natural sugar is different from free sugar. Free sugars are often highly processed. They typically come from sources such as sugarcane, sugar beets, and corn. These sugars are extracted and refined, which removes nutrients and fiber, resulting in a concentrated form of sugar that can be found in many processed foods and beverages. White table sugar, also known as sucrose, is primarily made from sugarcane or sugar beets. One of the main differences is that refined sugars are concentrated forms of sugar that strip away many of the beneficial nutrients and elements found in the whole source. Natural sugars are highly regarded in holistic disciplines, for example, in heat-related summer fatigue. Natural sugar, such as organic jaggery, is mixed with water and black pepper. It is consumed as an energy drink as needed for generally healthy adults. Going back to free sugar, Arnone and others, 2022, state Excessive intake of free sugars can cause many of the same health problems as excessive alcohol consumption. Many recent international recommendations have expressed concerns about sugar consumption in westernized societies. Excessive sugar intake disrupts the intestinal barrier, thus increasing gut permeability and causing profound gut microbiota disturbances, which results in a disturbance in mucosal immunity that enhances infection susceptibility. Reputable sources suggest that natural sugars are enclosed within cell structures. In contrast, free sugars are not bound within cell membranes. Free sugars can lead to higher caloric intake without the benefits of the accompanying nutrients found in whole foods. Free sugars and highly processed sugars can disrupt the gut microbiome when consumed in concentrated amounts. Excessive intake of free sugars may influence the gut, pain, and inflammation. Glucose from free sugars can influence cytokines and pain inflammation by causing spikes in blood glucose levels, which activate the immune system and trigger the release of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Additionally, high free sugar intake can lead to gut dysbiosis, increasing intestinal permeability and allowing bacterial components like lipopolysaccharides to enter the bloodstream, triggering systemic inflammation. It is further suggested that the resulting cytokines sensitize nerve endings, heightening pain sensations, and creating a cycle where inflammation and pain perpetuate glucose metabolism issues. Lastly, Jokbalite and Stanikunas, 2025, detail the potential effect of free sugar on the brain's reward and pleasure system. Multiple studies show that eating high-calorie, sweet foods stimulates the dopaminergic brain system and affects the reward and pleasure centers that encourage repetitive behavior. Their pilot study explored the go, no-go task with the influence of added sugar of healthy individuals. The go, no-go test measures impulse control, where individuals respond to certain stimuli, go, and withhold responses to others, no-go. They found that consuming added sugar influences impulse control and response inhibition following sugar consumption. The sugar used was regular table sugar, which falls into the free sugar category. Overall, the effects of highly processed and refined additives, such as refined white sugar, should be taken into consideration. For individuals who frequently train and bodybuild, post-exercise inflammation can be common, and excessive free sugars may exacerbate existing inflammation. The approach to sugar as a whole is subject to individual suitability and individual health status.